Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about the relic weapons versus the Cinquem weapons and whether you guys should be going really hard on trying to get a relic weapon during Ultra PSO2 day, or if you should just save your money and wait until the Cinquem weapons come out in February 16. But as usual, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, so the very first thing I want to show you guys is the relic weapon's attack power. You can see that the relic weapon at plus 40, I have 324 attack. However, when we look at the Cinquem weapons, you can see that it has 333 attack at plus 40. Now don't forget, we can actually enhance our weapons all the way to plus 50, so the Cinquem weapons at plus 40 already has 9 more attack than the relic weapons. And so you might think, okay, 9 attack, that's not a big deal, right, Kero? It's actually a huge deal. 9 attack power is actually very significant because of how weapon potential works. So remember, when we augment our armors and weapons, we get a bunch of melee potency if you're a melee class, tech potency if you're a tech class, and range potency if you're a range class. All of that is multiplicative to your base number. So depending on your weapon's base attack power, it will multiply even more. So essentially think about it like our drop rate. If our relic drop rate is 0%, even if you have 50 gajillion% rare drop rate, it's still 0%. However, if you could increase your base drop rate for the relic weapons from 1% to like 5%, then your 50 gajillion rare drop rate is gonna be very significant and boost that rare drop rate significantly, right? So it's the same thing with your attack power. Your base weapon's attack power, the higher the number is, the more effective your stat potency is going to be. And since we are going to be able to get 5 augments per piece, so you know, our 3 armors as well as our weapon, so that's a total of 20 augment slots, you are going to have a lot of potential. I think Thrift Shopping did the math on stream, but it was like 60-something% potential. So if you have like 60-something% potential and your weapon's base damage is like 333, or if we get it to plus 50, it's like 350, you take 350, multiply by 60%, and you get 210. So you smash those two numbers together, and that is 560 attack power, which is nuts. That is very strong, because you can see here my relic weapon has 324 attack power. However, my melee potency is only 32.5%, so I want to get 324 multiplied by 32.5%, mash those two numbers together, I get 429.3 versus the other number that we just said, like a 500 and something attack power. It is a big deal. Now do keep in mind, I did cherry pick these comparisons because if you wanted like 60% weapon potential, you are going full glass cannon, while the build that I have is extremely tanky. I take like 4 shots from Gigantics before I die, which is why my potency is so much lower than what you could get. I know a lot of people are rocking at least 40% weapon potency because you guys just go glass cannon, you guys go Giant units, and you guys are set, right? However, in my case, because I value survivability over damage, this is why my potency is low. So do understand that I did cherry pick this comparison with like, oh, if you're super glass cannon, you're obviously going to have a ton of damage, versus if you're tanky build like mine, well then you're going to have less damage. So now a lot of you guys are asking, okay Kero, you went through all the nitty gritty, all the stupid details, give me the TLDR. Should I get a relic weapon now, or should I just wait and get the Cinquem weapons later? Well, it really depends on you. If you have a lot of purple triggers and you actually want a relic and you're willing to grind for it and you're still pumped to play the game and to grind and all that stuff, then by all means go for a relic weapon. I do not recommend buying one. I repeat, do not buy a relic weapon right now unless you can snag one off for like 5 million. If it's under 10 million, then sure, you can think about it. But if it's above 10 million, I really don't recommend it, because the Cinquem weapons are going to be a much more economical choice versus the relic weapons, simply because the relic weapons are going to be so much more rare. And since they're so rare, especially if you want one with a fixa, it's going to be very expensive, or you're going to have to get very lucky like myself. But the takeaway of this video is, if you get a relic weapon to drop, keep it, use it, sure, it'll be fine. You're gonna be fine. You're not gonna be like, oh, the new Cinquem weapons come out and it's like, boom, it overshadows the relic weapons. You just wasted all this time. It's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be a side grade. It's like when we went from Straga weapons to Evil Coat weapons. You know, both are arguably good depending on your playstyle, depending on the situation, but they're both good. So it's the same thing here with the Cinquem weapons and the relic weapons. They are both very powerful weapons. It just really depends on your personal playstyle and how much time or money you're willing to put into the game. So if you're farming really hard during Ultra PSO2 day and you just happen to get a relic, congratulations, you can keep it, you can sell it, really up to you. But if you are trying to sell it, I would recommend to sell it soon, because less and less people are going to be buying the relic weapons, especially when the Cinquem weapons come out, because why spend 10 million, 20 million meseta when there is a much cheaper alternative which is equally as good as the relic weapons. Now, the Cinquem weapons do have a catch, and that catch is actually upgrading the potential of the weapon. From what I've heard from the rumor mills, in order to upgrade your weapon potential from 0 potential to level 1 potential, apparently it costs 150 photon scales. So you can see here, I've been gathering photon scales pretty much every day, on and off. I did spend quite a bit making ret dominas in the early days when they were worth like 500, 800k per pop. So I did spend quite a lot of my photon scales because, you know, who could say no to meseta? But you can see that I only have 194 photon scales. So this means I can only get my weapon potential to level 1. Because it costs 150, that's what the rumor mills say. So if we are to believe the rumor mills, you are going to be spending a lot of time farming the urgent quest in the Alio region because they drop photon scales. I would guess probably mining base is the one that's going to be dropping the most because you're killing the most enemies. But I know a lot of people don't like mining base. So just keep that in mind, that even though the Cinquem weapons sound really good, they're a cheaper alternative, blah 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 blah, it's going to be a grind fest to try to get this potential all the way up to level 4, because if level 1 costs 150 scales already, then I can only imagine level 2 is going to cost 200 and something, and level 3 is going to cost 300 and something. And that is a lot of photon scales, considering that we get 5 ores a day right now. So yeah, that really sucks. But then again, you do have a week before the Cinquem weapons become available, because we have the update coming in on February 9, so you can start farming the urgent quest and all of that stuff for a week. And then on February 16 is when we actually can farm the Dark Falls urgent quest to get the Cinquem weapons. So if you manage to get, you know, I don't know, 300, 400 of those photon scales within that 1 week time period, then yeah, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be ready for it. But just understand that if the rumor mills are true, well, that's a lot of farming, guys. So in conclusion, should you go with the relic weapons or the Cinquem weapons? If you don't play the game a lot and you don't like to grind and you've given up hope of the really abysmal drop rate for the relic weapons, build the Cinquem weapons. You know, the Cinquem weapons are a guaranteed drop. You're going to get a bunch of them. There's going to be tons on the market. The price is going to drop significantly very quickly within the first week or first 2 weeks. You're going to need to farm a ton of photon scales, but it doesn't matter. At least the photon scales are guaranteed. So if you don't like RNG, you don't like gambling, you just want a surefire way, you want the game to respect your time, go the Cinquem weapons. However, if you're a crazy gambling addict or a PSO2 addict that plays the game every day, definitely not me, then the relic weapons aren't too bad. If you get lucky and a relic weapon does drop, use it. I highly recommend you guys to just use it or sell it, depending on what you want, really, because meseta is always nice, especially if you're a fashionista. And if you manage to get one with a high level fixa, like a fixa 3 or above on a relic weapon, then I would 100% recommend you guys to just stick with the relic weapon, use it for now, and just see how everything plays out, because you're going to need a weapon to farm that 500 to 600 photon scales anyway. So having a relic weapon is just going to let you farm a little bit more efficiently, a little bit faster. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye. Can I say except you're welcome?